Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Today's guest, let's get right to it. First of all, host of the Book of Ye podcast. If you want to, how are you going to know what's going on with Kanye West? This week, is he coherent and rational? How are you going to know? You check out the Book of Ye. Chris Daniels, how you doing?
What's up, man? Happy to be back.
I just saw Chris not too long ago. We were doing a movie review podcast.
Right.
Happened to be about Logan. I was the only one who wasn't pleased with Logan.
But by the end,
I was tolerant.
You were, yeah.
I was tolerant.
I feel like you were on board by the end. You would watch it again.
What's the name of that podcast? Medium Popcorn.
Medium Popcorn.
And they have a longer name.
I don't know the rest of the name.
Yeah, I know I can't say the name.
I really don't know what it is. I assume
Really?
it involves. Wait, the N word's in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. It's not just like medium popcorn.
No. It's something I can't tell my friends to go to. But anyway, check it out. Also joining us, co-founder and producer of What a Joke, a national comedy festival, and this was a big deal.
Yep.
Jenn Welch, how are you?
Hi, I'm great.
Jen's lying because I see social media.
I'm here. I'm alive. I'm wearing pants. I'm doing great.
Well, first of all, let me mention this.
Some of those are not requirements, but thank you.
Yes.
Regarding What a Joke, you and your friends were watching the election results, and immediately you said, look, we have to put on some kind of comedy festival and get people through the next part, the inauguration.
Right.
So you do that.
And I came to see one of the shows. Absolutely incredible.
Yay.
Look, first of all, it was the weekend of the inauguration, and so, spirits were low, but we went to the Women's March, and then we went to one of your shows, and it was a way to not feel defeated by the whole thing. It was a way to go, all right, then I guess if we all gather together, like, something else can happen,
Right.
even if it's just a feeling.
88 shows in 34 cities,
Yep.
Wow.
No big deal.
including
just a little thing.
including Oxford, England.
Yep.
3 days long, right?
Yep.
You made over $50,000 for the ACLU.
Yeah, we raised over $50,000 for the ACLU, which is pretty amazing.
Have you ever raised $50,000 for yourself?
No, I've never earned that much money in my life, and we did it in 3 nights. So.
Right. Well, it is something. And I'm sorry for your loss. Your dad passes away, and is it while you're doing this festival, or was it at least over?
He passed away 2 weeks after the festival ended. But so it was the festival ended, and then that Thursday, he had lung cancer. So that Thursday, he signed a DNR. He was diagnosed with pneumonia, and they were like, oh.
Do not resuscitate.
Yeah, do not resuscitate. So basically, I had 3 days before that happened, and then I was in the hospital with him for a week, and then he passed away. So.
And you can't be in a right head to work. You also have to be with the family. So you just raised $50,000 for the ACLU. Can you call him up and say, "Hey, I'm in a tough way right now. I'm gonna have a couple bucks back"?
I don't think it works that way, unfortunately.
Okay.
It doesn't. No, but
because you're such a sweet person, what happens? All your friends start helping you out.
Friends started doing it. Makes me so, it's wonderful. It's wonderful and beautiful, and then it makes me so because I'm a raise money for other people person. You know what I mean? So it's very uncomfortable about it. Yeah,
do you tell your friends, thanks, I gave it all to the ACLU? Can I crash?
Right? I know. I'm like, who can I give this to?
Well, I kind of joke about this and where everyone has, either a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter at some point that we know because we know so many artists. So we basically just take our money just kind of keep passing it from one person to the next. And I feel like that's the community, the comedy community.
Thank God for it.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I see you're trying to have, it's weird to say, fun with this at least. You don't know how to deal with telling people your dad died, but
you're going the Lori Kilmartin way.
I see on Tinder, you just tell people, hey, my dad died. Let's see where this relationship goes.
She doesn't even tell people. It's in her, she has a 2-line bio.
Yeah, but nobody reads the bio. But the bio says, I'm a comedian.
Accurate. Very accurate.
I'm a comedian. My dad just died.
Yeah,
that's your whole bio.
That's my whole bio.
What was your bio before this?
I'm smarter than my dad is alive. I'm a comedian. My dad is alive. No, before this, I think it was I'm smarter than you and I'm funnier than you, and you're totally okay with that. That was my. I don't do well on the online dating.
Well, so now her initial response is that her dad is dead, for example.
In case they don't read the bio, they have to know about you.
Yeah.
Paul writes, "Good afternoon, Miss J. Also, I wouldn't know when you wrote the bio. Maybe it'd make me more comfortable if you updated it because maybe it's old. Let's talk about fucking.
Can we just stop there for a second? I've never been on Tinder, but good afternoon, Miss J.
Mm-hmm.
And this is harsh because, it's hard to start an opening line. I think not a great opening line. No.
He'll be on Tinder for a while.
Yeah.
The good news is you'll be able to get him back if you're done being a morbid bitch.
Oh, absolutely.
Is he just copying and pasting and just replacing that last letter?
He only swipes right. He only swipes right on girls with J names.
Miss B. I was like,
Oh, fuck. The eyes didn't work out. Off to the J's.
to be fair, hey, it's an efficient system as far as mass.
Good afternoon, Miss J. How's your weekend going? And I really wish people knew how to use these emoticons. I do not mind people using them. I'll write LOL, but know what they are. Why does he have the embarrassed face like he got a compliment? You would use more a smiley face. How was your day?
Another mistake, though. You don't start off. You got to earn,
right.
Emojis are not for, that's not
a first message.
Right. So establish you're a man.
Yeah.
And then.
A lot of people are having trouble with emojis lately, where I, as a 41-year-old woman of the world, am like putting in emojis, deleting it, putting it in, hitting send, and crossing fingers that nobody's going to hate me.
Because I never know what race to put. There's so many colors.
Match your own skin, Keith.
They don't have dark pink.
Well, sometimes that's kind of hard because I'm black, but I'm like Teddy Graham Brown. I'm not as black as the blackest emoji, but I'm like, the next one is too light, so there's no middle. They need more. Just all right.
I do know. I have that issue. I'm like, am I allowed to use this one? And I literally check my screen. I'm like, it is summer. Here we go. I'm just like, this is quite stressful.
Chris rates brown/black, and it's both the same smiley face.
Not this black, but anyway.
Right.
From this emoji to this emoji, where am I? Right here.
So, Miss J, how was your weekend? Embarrassed face. Not great, Mr. Paul. My dad just died.
You went full name.
Oh, yeah.
Not even Mr. P.
I don't fuck around.
And then the next day he writes, how's the world of comedy?
No.
Yeah.
I gave you a day to, you deal with your shit, because I'm just trying to get it wet over here. You dealt with your dad dying yesterday. It's today.
Let's fuck.
How's comedy?
Right.
Well, also he's going, well, I also know this other thing about you.
Right.
So he's, we already mentioned the first thing in your bio. Let's move forward.
And he's debating about it. Do I write, yeah, I know I read?
Right.
I read your bio?
That's his way of saying that he read the bio.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Right.
also.
Right?
Did you totally go for that?
Oh, yeah, we fucked. No, we didn't. No.
Jay says, hi. And she writes back, hi, my dad just died.
God.
And then Jay writes back, can I bury him in your asshole?
My dad was cremated.
Oh, did you write that?
No.
Because I think it's easier to bury your dad in his asshole.
Can I bury him in your asshole? Now, do you think to write back and go, you know what, let me just act like I'm a freak and see what happens. He was cremated. This could happen.
I am as soon as I get the response that I want, which is a response, I just automatically unmatch.
Right.
Just unmatch.
Yeah, I got my script. I got more stuff.
I got what I needed from you. Done.
Yeah.
Right?
If somehow you start doing this and then a miracle happens, they bring your dad back. Sometimes these people, they jump out of the grave. You never know.
My dad was cremated.
Would you? Who knows? I don't know with science nowadays.
Let's say we're on Star Trek.
Okay.
And something happened where we're in the future.
Okay.
And maybe for a holodeck or not for a holodeck.
Would you show your dad these Tinders and would he enjoy it?
I think my dad would think this was hysterical.
Okay.
Your dad would hate it, right, Keith?
No, he'd be pleased.
Really? Just
Yeah.
anything for you to
He'd
talk
say,
about.
oh, that's funny. This is shove it up your asshole. My dead body. He would enjoy. He would love it.
I don't know if he would think the guy's responses were funny, but he would think the concept of it was funny. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The concept of still not getting laid, but still.
So my daughter still can't get with somebody. Great. This is great news.
But now I'm part of it.
Right. You're going to blame me on not finding a husband.
Would your parents have a sense of humor about this?
No way in hell. I, for one, also have a dead dad, but it was young, so I can't take advantage of it now.
Hey.
But
Of course you can.
But my other live parents, hell no. They don't want to be a part of my comedy at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they would be traumatized by this.
Do you keep your parents or your family in general out of your comedy? Because you're doing it now.
All right. Well, yeah, Monique's pretty much part of the set now. She's definitely implemented, but she doesn't. They don't want to hear it. They're like, any jokes about me, just tell me not to come and not to listen. Anything like that.
Yeah, you don't want to just change their name? Because, like, a lot of people don't know who Monique is.
He tried, and then he forgets.
Monique is, like, that. Her name is crucial to, like, the Chris brand now. It's part of the whole thing.
All right.
By the way, going back real quick, Alyssa says, maybe like a paint matcher at Home Depot, you can scan your skin and get an emoji that way.
Oh, that's a great idea. She should do that.
Yeah.
She should make an app.
Ciao, how are you? This person writes to Jen.
Yeah, already.
Right.
I'm honest to you.
Okay.
I'm looking for a hookup. It's refreshing when they're honest. I'm honest to you.
Sure.
I'm looking for a hookup.
No one else on Tinder is, but I am.
No, just him special.
Are you interested? The embarrassing face. Listen, guys, you should be embarrassed, but just that doesn't mean you just put the face and you're fine.
Is that not an embarrassing face and we just don't know it?
So
Wait, which is the embarrassing face?
This one. It's like you just heard a big compliment. That's the way I took it. It's like
It's like rosy cheeks. It's like the smiley face, but it's a smiley face, but like it just got a compliment or something.
Like,
you know, like oh,
I don't even know what I would call that.
the smiley face just got told that is a perfect face, and then it goes.
That looks like Squints from The Sandlot.
Nobody knows what that is.
Come on.
Maybe that's what they're trying
Who
to do.
doesn't know what The Sandlot is?
Sorry, I don't, and thank you, Jen.
Come on, man.
We still do Goonies references. Ciao, Bella, she rates back. Not really looking for a hookup. My dad just died. And he rates back, why not? And then, question mark, same stupid face. Why not?
With all good questions.
Your dad's not coming back one way or another, sweetheart.
He got one emoji. He's like, I'll use it for everything.
Right?
It's only one price. So you're getting a lot of international people because that was Ciao Bella. This one's Ola.
Yeah.
Ola Jen. Ola Alessio. My dad just died. And he says, I live in North Brooklyn and work in Midtown East, implying we can get this done.
Yeah.
Do they have these things already set?
They just don't even read. They don't even read what you're writing. They just don't even.
You guys are blowing it. Women are on these things.
I am coming to you in a vulnerable place.
I mean, you're
like,
sure.
they could get
But once somebody starts it off with my dad is dead, they're just like, well, fuck it. I'll just go for broke then.
Yeah. These are very different responses than his normal responses, right?
Yeah, I think they're still trying. Like, if they're like, fuck you, I'm going to be a smartass now and talk about fucking on your dad's grave. If Jen said, you know what, you have a sense of humor, I like it, let's go out. You don't think they're going to go, okay? Or they're going, no, you fucked up by pushing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Why don't you bury your dad in your asshole?
By the way, this is all on @DeadDadTinder on Instagram.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So she had a match with somebody. That's how it works.
And Tumblr.
And starts with a picture of a panda bear getting out of water. OMG, hi. And then he writes, does this mean we are boyfriend-girlfriend now? LOL. I'm just joking.
It was funny.
It
LOL.
was oh, yeah, so funny.
She says, I don't know. My dad just died. He says, oh.
In all fairness, you have your answer ready too.
Right.
You're not listening either.
No.
So he says, oh, okay. And then immediately says, so tell me something. What are the 3 qualities you are looking for in a guy? And then she should write back, 1, anybody that ignores me and my dead dad.
Right.
2.
Are you alive?
Okay, let's pose this question to the men in the room because in all fairness, it's not fair, right? It's not a Tinder answer.
No, that's the joke of it.
Sure. Let's say you're like, hola.
Right.
You know.
Hola. Come.
Yes, I am international. Yes. Okay, and she goes, awesome. My dad just died.
Biblioteca, sweetheart.
What's your next response? You actually sincerely want to have sex.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay. All right. Okay.
What else? You sincerely want to have sex?
Yeah. But she just said her dad died.
Well, that's
I like that he's thinking. It's already a plus.
It's a very difficult. What else can you say but sorry?
Perfect. What you just said is perfect. It's a very difficult ... What else can you say ... But sorry. Wouldn't that be better than
that's so much better. Oh my God. So many times I've had guys say to me, well, I didn't reply because I didn't know what to say. And I'm like, fucking reply that you don't know what to say. Just send a text that says, I don't know what to say right now. Right? You know what I mean? If you're ever in that.
I would send a text, this is tough. I don't know what to say. And then emoticon of a mop because you are dripping. That was the perfect answer. and I just got
Dripping.
you excited.
What?
Don't
Oh,
overthink
gross.
drinking. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't type all that. I just say it to my boy Chris.
I know what I would do if I match with somebody on Tinder and she's like, my dad just died, I would reply, I know it's you, Jen.
And you know what? I'll see you Friday.
That took you 5 minutes, but it was great.
Hey.
It was worth it. It was totally worth it.
Hey, we were talking amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
He had the time. He used it right.
Right?
Okay, here's one more. Hi, Jen. You are so beautiful, smiley face. What a gorgeous smile and great energy in your pics. Thumb ups. Thumb ups emoji.
That's a copy paste.
How are you? When are you free to grab a drink? And then emojis of drink so that you know. We can do wine. We can do something else that kind of looks like wine.
Yeah.
You can use our date as great Tinder date material. LOL. Goofy face with one eye open.
So he read that I
Yeah.
was a comedian.
There you
right?
go.
Keep
Okay.
going.
Yeah, you can. I'll give you a lot of material on premature ejaculation.
This, by the way, so far is the best response or the best. It's not good.
Oh, I'm so
Oh,
glad
I
you're
don't-
not on Tinder.
It's not good, but
I don't think it's good.
out of
No.
all of those stupid things,
This is one of the worst ones.
This is awful.
really? Okay. All right.
One, too
Okay.
long,
Okay.
Right.
Too many emojis.
too many emojis.
Okay.
He's already assuming that we going out.
True.
This guy is
And he's helping your career. He will not only give you a good
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Oh, I feel like he's trying. Boy, I really would suck at this. Okay,
so
everyone.
we have proof he read the bio.
Yeah.
Well-
He only acknowledged the comedy.
It doesn't matter to me. You're 36. That's
Right.
what I would write.
Oh,
It says that on the thing.
does it?
Yeah,
On what?
on your profile.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Okay.
But she's talking about his thing. I'm out.
Go for it.
I'll have you laughing so hard, your abs will be hurting the next day.
Oh,
Wink.
I'm sorry. So wait, he's the funny one? Okay. See, that's.
This is interesting. We're still on him. You didn't
Yeah.
write
That's
anything.
what I'm
haven't
saying.
written
That's
it-
how long it
I
is.
haven't written anything yet.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay.
Did I mention you're smoking hot?
He wrote an obituary himself.
I'll be so pissed if this is a fake profile, smiley face, because you have the looks of a fucking model, and he's
Oh,
amazed.
yeah. Right?
I'm sorry about your dad, he said. He had time to think about it. This is 2 days later.
This is 2 days later.
2 days later?
Yeah.
Can you go back to Tinder 2 days later? I
don't
didn't know that.
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah.
anything about you, but just from looking at your pics, got my black belt in spirituality and conciseness. LOL.
Conciseness? That's the opposite.
I got this sense of greatness in you. Stars emoji, woman's face emoji, stars emoji.
Now, why haven't you replied to this yet?
Because he never stopped talking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keith.
like a great tigress ready to jump out of the cute kitchen. In parentheses,
What?
you.
Wait, what?
This
Ready to
dude
jump out
wrote
the
this
kitchen.
while he was burning incense in the room.
Yeah. And then an emoji of, I think, a kitten. LOL. With that, your dad must have been a great man. Emoji of a lion.
What the fuck?
I just never. I literally had no interaction with him. That was all him.
So he won. He won the game.
So there's a chance.
So there's still a chance.
What are you on Tinder?
Yeah.
What's your go-to first line?
Your dad's dead.
I don't know if I have one. I would.
What have you used?
Do you read their profile before you say anything to them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not big on Tinder. I don't usually meet people that way, but I have it, and sometimes I'll go on and I'll match with people. Most of the times,
But how about the times that aren't most of the times?
all right, the times that aren't most of the time, I usually try to do some kind of joke off of something that I can see in the photo,
Right.
or
Does it work?
usually it gets a response and the conversation can start.
I'll say
Okay.
like you hot as hell, but really we both know she's not.
No,
That's like the joke.
That's not Jesus. All right. Keith you ain't on Tinder.
Well,
This is so funny. You know what we should, like this could be a game show. Are you on Tinder?
Yeah.
And like, cause you guys just were like, okay, you've never been on this app. Like, it's just kind of a fun game.
you don't have things you cut and paste to start it because it's not worth your time.
Like
I don't know.
How
you gotta be original. That's like at least rule number one. Have some level of originality.
What does your bio say?
Incredibly original.
I think. Oh, my bio says I live. No, I think it says I
don't
wish
even
I was
know.
on vacation with the Obamas, and I haven't changed it since they came back from vacation.
Okay.
Nice.
That's it.
you
Before it just said Meg Ryan. That was it.
Why?
Why?
I love Meg Ryan.
I wasn't getting a lot of response when I said I love Kanye West too much.
No.
I was reading an article and somebody asked Jen, what makes you most happy in life? And Jen said, hugs from people I want to be hugging. Tap dancing, rating a joke that works. We were talking about this last time Jen was on, like especially the comedy community. Because you keep seeing people that you know of so often, and what a cheap thrill for guys to hug women, right?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, hi. It's like we didn't even talk yet.
Yeah, I've been hesitating to hug recently. I don't like myself like that.
Yeah.
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 Now I try to wait for somebody else's indication that we're hugging. Otherwise, I put my hand out. But I'm like,
Right.
this feels so weird. But I get it. Fuck it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I don't do it. A woman goes to give me a hug. You know what I do, Jen?
What do you do?
I take both my hands and I shake both hands.
That's amazing.
That's right.
Push her away. Push her away.
You can't get that wrong.
Right.
Yep.
As I wait for the hands to close and I shoot a basket.
Right. and then I do that Shooter McGavin at him, little wink. I'm like, respect.
Oh, yeah.
I respect you. You don't have to do that.
You got to leave after you do this.
Right.
You got to go.
Jen wrote on Facebook the other day, as I work out my jokes about my dad's death, a lot of people have been approaching me after my set to say nice things. Like tonight at Beauty Bar, an older woman came running up to me after the show and said, you look just like my son's ex-girlfriend. He broke up with her, and then she threatened to kill our entire family.
How do we get there? Did you talk anything about this?
Well, first we have to acknowledge the show and venue. It's a Comedy at Beauty Bar, which is a show that I co-produce.
Every Sunday at 8:30.
Every Sunday at 8:30.
It's a great show.
And I only hire murderers.
I was really excited to be on that show. I have to say, that was a show last week that I was like, this is my show this week. You know what I mean? Like, I had other shows, but this was like, ooh.
You know what? It's Chris is the one who brought it up, but he wants to hide under his desk right now.
What?
He's like, it's my show. Okay.
Right. Well, embarrassed emoji face. Did I just give all the information? Embarrassed face.
All right, now I know when to use it. All right,
So Jen was doing a show, and she didn't understand, like, why isn't my show? It feels like it's not going so good, but, being a comic, you don't know if you're making this up or not. And then you realize at the end, this woman comes up to you and it kind of makes you understand one way or the other. Oh, me and my family and friends weren't laughing because you look like a murderer.
Yeah, you look like somebody who threatened to kill
Not just
all of us.
a murderer, like our murderer.
Our murderer. Yes. And I love that they had to go through the thought process of, oh my God, is she that fucking insane that she got herself booked on the same comedy show as his sister, and then came up with 10 minutes of material, and then is like here now to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'd watch that movie. Hell yeah.
They don't even tell you, hey, this is why we were quiet. You're very funny. That you have to guess on your own. They're just saying, hey, just want to say something. You really, we all thought, fuck you, bitch.
You
Yeah.
were
We
great.
all thought that.
You were great. We were just frozen in fear.
also the set that I did was all deads, all deads, all jokes about my dad dying.
Right.
So like I was expecting her to say something about
You
that.
did it.
They're just like, oh
Like,
fuck, she
yeah.
killed her dad.
She killed her dad. Yeah.
How much time do you have just on your dad being dead?
Like
I think it's more for like, you got to pose that question to the audience. Like, how much time do you have?
right? Thank you. Yeah.
Can you do your own half-hour show?
I'm doing 10 minutes right now.
Okay.
Like I have 10 minutes of all dead. You can't segue into it.
Do you ever
You know what I mean?
Do you ever get sad after? Like, for example, I have a friend, Brother Love, and somebody will make like a your mama joke, and he'll say, joking just to make him feel bad, oh, my mom's dead. And then immediately,
But she is.
She is dead, and immediately he's honest to God sad. Will
Yeah.
you ever do stand up and then be like, now I'm thinking about my dad again, and I'm sad?
I'm trying to be, do you want the honest answer?
Of course.
Okay. I'm trying to be like respectful of how I'm feeling at any given moment. And I've actually just kind of been, if I don't feel like I can do those jokes right now, I've kind of been like, maybe I just shouldn't be doing a show tonight, right? Because I can't really talk about dicks on stage, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm not feeling my actual material. So it's kind of right now it's like, that or nothing. Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah.
Which is shitty. You know, you're like, oh, I went through it when I was young. And it's like, I kind of, not that I wish my dad died when I was young, but it's like, it's hard to be like, oh, I'm trying to function in my like career aspirations right now with this going on in my head. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's what sucks about being an adult. Like you are the main person taking care of you.
Yes.
When you're younger, you may have other people walking you through these emotions and also paying the rent and the light bill and like things like that.
You don't think I paid rent when I was a kid?
No, I know exactly what I mean. I don't want to be circumcised today.
Yeah. I think you go through when you're a kid, and it's like, yeah, okay, you know, and like, yeah, there's a huge glaring absence in your life of foreskin, but like, you know, but you don't remember the whole experience.
Right. Chris, you don't remember your dad dying? Shut the fuck up already.
All I'm saying is,
that's not what
she brought up dads and dicks, and somehow we're on dads and dicks. Just saying, they can coexist.
You could segue.
I could segue. Thank you. Maybe I just needed this moment. Maybe we just needed to get to here. You know?
Now she can.
Now I can.
Yes.
All right, let me mention this. Maybe this will help you out, Jen. How to get a good night's sleep.
Oif.
I'm talking sleep number beds. That's what I do. Slept like an angel. I knew about your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read all about it. It's no fault of anybody's. This bed will guarantee you have a good night's sleep. What I do is I can set the firm setting on my side of the bed in the same bed. Like magic. My wife can set hers a different setting. For example, I'm a 45. She's a 55. A little firmer bed, right? And we get the perfect night's sleep. They have Sleep IQ technology, meaning my app will say, oh, 4 to 5 in the morning, you weren't sleeping so good. How do we fix that? We can adjust it a different way. You can look on your app. You can call a real live person if you're old school. It's fantastic. Sleep IQ out of 100 last night, 100. Boom.
I feel like it's less fights, like having the same bed, but being able to sleep on two different kinds of firmness. Like, that's a huge fight waiting to happen, right?
And it's good for sex. I go, firm, softer, firmer, softer, firm. I'm not even working hard, and she's telling her friends her abs hurt. Come into a Sleep Number store and see and feel the difference. Save $400 on their most popular P5 Queen mattress. You only find Sleep Number at any of the 500 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Find the one nearest you by going to sleepnumber.com and be sure to tell them that Keith and the girl sent you.
They'll hook you up.
That's right. That's right. Sometimes, you know what? I let my dog on the bed the other day. Had a sleep IQ of 100 as well.
Oh, that's nice.
The dog, a dog didn't disturb me on this bed. By the way, you know what's, I want to say this to everybody because I just figured it out, and it's a life changer. If you do happen to have a dog. We have 2 dogs now, and the newest dog, puppies, and the newer puppy started eating the other puppy's poop.
Oh, what? No. That's a thing?
It was the most disgusting thing. And my first puppy used to do that. She used to eat her own poop. So even though I saw it before, I'm like, this is so disgusting. I would let Trump be rule over the world forever if I didn't see that again. It was vomitous. It's vomitous. And I would ask...
We finally found something worse than Trump.
Oh, right. Yeah. Poop. Right. I'm like, I don't make your Hitler comparisons. I do not want to see this fucking poop again. So I'm asking around, and everybody that had a puppy seems that this is a common thing. And I went to the vet for something unrelated and brought this up. And they said right away they had the answer. And there's a powder that you put in their food, and then it makes their shit undesirable. So there's like something that tastes worse than shit.
You sprinkle some of this shit on the shit. And then
So you put it on the food, and then it digests out of them. And they won't eat it, and it works. And I think there should be commercials on this.
You should put chocolate on their poop.
Right.
I'll kill you if you eat this.
Right. No, I think somehow they know. Like they'll smell it and know. Like this is, and I did smell it. It smelled better than shit.
We should try eating it. See what our bathrooms smell like.
Who knows? Maybe that was vomitous. But then she's eating.
Look at his face every time he thinks about it. You can tell it changes.
It's disgusting. And I would hear them eating the food.
Oh, that's worse. Now we're in it with you.
The food.
The food, not the shit.
Oh, okay.
You got to be real close to hear them eating shit.
It's a New York apartment. I don't know. It's enough, Keith.
All right.
This is headphones on.
God.
But they're eating the food, and I'm just pleased. I'm like, Yes, eat it up. No one's gonna be eating anybody's poo. Yes, you'll never enjoy shit again. Yum yum.
I'm manipulating you right now.
Yes. I'll never stop chewing.
He's like, you think you're eating your food right now? Nah.
I own you.
My new puppy loves watching TV. The first one doesn't, but Hugsy doesn't. CJ will perch up and is really watching. And if it's boring, she'll quit. And
Shut up.
I'm dead serious. If there's a woman in danger, she barks. If it looks like she's about to be in danger, CJ growls. And if it's anything else, she just watches.
Does she laugh at the good parts?
She does not laugh inappropriately.
Does she get upset at dogs on the TV?
Interesting. Good question.
It'll get her attention.
Because my pug.
If there's barking, she'll bark along, though. They're having a conversation.
That's so fun.
My pug, who is not my pug anymore, but it's my ex-husband's pug. My ex-husband's pug, right? My ex-husband's.
You should have seen the Tinder during those times.
Yeah.
My ex stole the dog, and we used to do a dog blog.
Yeah.
How are you? That's too bad. Want to fuck?
Yes.
Yes, send him the tape. Can we fuck on his body? Yes.
Yes. Oh no. Okay. Anyway, my the pug used to. We were watching one of those like BBC like wild animal documentaries once, like elephants walking across the screen, and he was like going ape shit, running behind the TV trying to find them. And I'm like, this pug has never seen an elephant before. Like, why does it know that it's a thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why that?
Yeah. Any sort of animal on TV. It was a nightmare.
Well, CJ had to get his intelligence checked. He would stare at the water and see his reflection and try to get him.
Sid does that too.
And then he tried to lift the little bowl up like, I must be under here.
Yeah. But that's really smart,
They're
though.
so stupid.
No, that's so smart. That's reasoning. He's like,
Right.
I see another dog. It's got to be here somewhere, right? That's like critical thinking.
I know, but how do you think it fits under there? It seems to have the same size head
That's
as
why he's
you.
confused.
I'll take a toy. I remember I watched all these, we were new parents, we get all these dog toys. And then I finally wash them, so I have all these fresh dog toys. And my dog's is just looking at the floor, and I dump all these toys from the sky, right? And like, oh, he has all these toys. And he's so excited. But he never wondered, how did these toys just fall on him? Do you see what I'm saying?
Keith plays God for the dog.
Yeah.
Look at all these falling from the sky. Why aren't you wondering where this came from?
You dumb dog.
It's from the fucking sky.
At first I was happy, like, look at all these toys you're going to get. And then I was just disgusted.
You expected a dog to get existential on you.
Is it so something falls on you and you look, are you deep?
I think, here's what I'm thinking about right now. I think if you've ever read the story about Matilda, right? Have you ever read the book Matilda?
I'm on the bell jar.
Okay.
Give me time for Matilda.
Matilda, first of all, was written by it's a children's book, okay?
Okay.
But
That's more my speed.
I've heard of the movie. I'm
okay,
almost there yet.
Well, it's about a genius child and how her parents are very like sort of blue collar working class, and they think she's dumb because she's so smart.
Okay. You think, I see. Fuck.
Were her parents Trump?
No.
No.
I see what's
I
happening.
give
there.
it. She's good.
I get it.
I think your dog is smarter than you think it is.
I think Chris is the only guest. Now goodbye.
I'm not saying you're dumb.
Oh,
I'm
thank
just
you.
saying your dog is smart.
Although you did pause
She
at the end of
said-
that sentence. I think your dog is smarter than you think he is.
The dog is secretly sprinkling Keith's food.
Right?
You know what? Let him think I'm the one eating this shit. I saw the new Chappelle specials as comedians. Did you guys have to see that?
Yeah,
I've
it's,
seen him like two or three times already.
2 or 3
Oh,
times.
really?
How do you have
Yeah.
time for that?
It's Dave Chappelle.
I enjoyed him. I think I enjoyed the second one more than the first one. He's good. He's great. I did find the gay and transgender stuff, and he's my age,
Mm-hmm.
to be a little old school, backward. What do we think?
I think overall, like, both of them are great.
Right.
There's reasons I like the first one that are totally different than why I like the second one, which I think is cool. Some of those jokes, I do think, yeah, you could say they might seem a little bit dated, but it's like his mentality, and also I also can tell where he's trying to come from, which is like a sincere place. But I mean, if people are bothered by it, I'm not gonna get mad at people who are sincerely bothered by it for their own personal reasons. But I don't think it's necessarily as
Volatile.
his intentions are good. So he's just
Yeah,
trying to tell a joke.
I think it's fair to if his intentions are good, it's fair to point that out. But it's also fair to point out if it's inaccurate, then it's just inaccurate. It's not that his whole special is not funny, but if the truths are inaccurate, then your jokes fall more flat. But he's probably speaking to an audience of people who don't really know where transgender really is or really what it is, so it's probably not falling flat. I haven't seen it yet, but what's interesting is just recently, like before he came back, I saw the Chappelle show, like the old Chappelle show, and wow, this guy was fucking like, you know, when you listen to like classic comedians, like comedians from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and you're like, oh my God, these guys were telling us like decades before we thought we were so aware of all these issues and blah, 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 and all this shit. And I'm like, this is amazing. It's everything that we're talking about right now. But it was like 10 years ago, and no wonder he left. Like, this is fucking awful. Here's one of the things. And, you know, I see your hesitation with critiquing Chappelle because he is like one of the lords of comedy, and I totally get it. My one comment on that is, and this is the same for Star Trek, which I'm just starting to watch now. It's so enlightened and so aware of all the issues and problems that people have socially, politically, all this stuff. But women are always last. So all his jokes were so brilliantly put together with like what's happening in life and how, you know, stupid and funny it is, except for women. It was always like a notch down for women. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's because like women, obviously, you know, that might be the last group for people because it's marginalized, and he's not in that marginalized group, so maybe that would be the last one he becomes fully aware of. You know what I mean? So credit where credit is due, and then maybe like a small piece needs to kind of upgrade to the latest operating system. Does that make sense?
I think I got really into O.J. Simpson documentaries after my dad died, just because I don't know why, right? But I just had to watch everything O.J. related. And one of the things I watched was that 7-hour ESPN documentary. Did you see it?
It's perfect.
It's so fucking good. And it was so, one of the things, like amongst all the amazing things in it, but like one of the things that really stood out to me was nobody ever talked about the fact that O.J. was like beating Nicole Brown Simpson for years before he murdered her. Like nobody ever, that was never talked about in the whole, like,
I didn't really get that story until the documentary.
Yeah. And that, like, that's like one of the things to me where, like, especially like now,
like he already had aggressive tendencies.
He already had aggressive tendencies. He was already beating her regularly. He already had this violent temper with her. And it's like, the whole thing about like, oh, we can still be excited every time we see OJ, like that sort of bit with him. And I'm not going to critique Chappelle. He's freaking amazing. He's amazing. But there is this thing where we forget about the victims. Right? Like, we're like, OJ is OJ. We forget about the victims. When we forget about what he, like, yes, he murdered her, but he not only murdered her, he also beat her for years in front of his children. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, he's not a good, like, it wasn't a, like, crime of passion one night sort of oopsie doops where he murdered, like, you know.
He talks about that all the time. You know, we play Michael Jackson music and he wasn't convicted, so you can go back and forth on that. But,
neither was OJ.
He was in one court, but not in the other, wasn't he?
Civil.
Civil.
When he had to pay millions and millions and millions, and they'll never get it. That was okay, granted.
Yeah.
Never convicted. Happens to be in jail now, by the way. But that's
he could be out this year. Just saying.
Oh, wow. Oh, so are you being careful now?
He's saying, watch what you say.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. Chappelle's got to do one more special. He might meet him again.
Well, it sounds like really good specials. I got to watch them.
It was great.
You won't waste your time, yeah. Speaking of movies, by the way, the last movie you saw was Logan, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Which I was surprised by because you're one of these people that see everything, right? Don't you? Beauty and the Beast. Do we care, Chris?
I do not care.
All right.
What is it remade by Disney again?
Of course.
What are we remaking?
It's
here?
live action.
It's
It's a lot. They had to find a
They're
live.
doing all these things now where they're just gonna remake all the cool animated stuff like the Jungle Book. They're gonna do a live action Lion King.
Does Disney know that we live Beauty and the Beast every day?
Right.
Like, oh, are you upset that you don't look good and you're letting it out on me? I'll come and save you and make you beautiful. What the fuck?
I'll look past your awfulness and just love you anyway.
Yeah, don't they want to get rid of those movies instead of reassociating them into our community?
Yeah, but a friend of the director was a talking, singing candelabra. And they're like, well, this is something we can't outlast. Number 2 movie of the weekend, Power Rangers.
I still got to see that.
I
How
didn't
old
even
are
know
you?
This was happening.
26.
Right?
Didn't even know.
Power Rangers. Saban's Power Rangers, right?
Yeah.
No,
What's
come on.
that?
It's whoever the creator was with the big fat fucking head. It's just called Power Rangers. It's not Marvel Superman or Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man.
You got it. No, you got to call it that.
No, I know, because he's a hard-on, apparently, this Saban.
I don't even I don't think he cares.
It could be a place, I don't even know. But the point is,
I couldn't believe that people were watching Power Rangers to begin with. No offense, of course. But a little offense, though. A little.
Hey, I don't care. Fuck it. You're gonna shame this guy for watching Power Rangers. Like, yeah, you know what?
it was cute in the trailer. These kids are finding their powers, and they have an aura that goes with them. And that's the color of their suits, you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
You see where I'm going? And the white guy goes, oh, look, I'm black. And the black friend goes, no, you're not. It's like, what? 13th. I saw it.
It was an Asian dude.
Right. Of all things. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I remember I had to learn more about Power Rangers because at the time of their, popularity, I was doing kids parties and I was literally in that pink fucking suit every weekend
God.
for every party for a while. I did magic through that outfit.
I did my dick through that outfit. You could see my penis. All their outfits I was 6'2". All those outfits were too small for me. If I was Spider-Man, I was Spider-Man with a dick. If I was Red Power Ranger, I had a dick.
Wait, were you both doing
That's
children's
his great
parties?
power and responsibility, Charles.
Right. I'm like, this is my responsibility to push these kids away from me trying to grab my balloons.
I did kids parties for like 12 years. So everybody who needed a job, I was like, come be my second person or like
Okay.
I was employing a lot of friends.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island. Do we care?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
I'm just surprised you didn't see that yet.
I'm going to because I have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's King Kong. Like things like King Kong and Power Rangers for me, I have to see, and I'm expecting them to be bad.
I feel like there's a movie pass in your future, yes?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy about it.
Because you can't. It's like getting the monthly train pass. Am I?
It's like when
am I
I
gonna
go
use the train this much?
I go to the movies. I don't want to have any interaction besides just like getting the ticket and going in. That's it. I don't want to talk to the person at the thing.
That's movie pass, right, Keith?
You don't have to talk. You use it like a regular credit card. You only talk to the person if you're upcharging. If you're going 3D, for example, you pay an extra $5.
Still sounds like steps to get it. That's the whole thing.
Hilarious. You know what else is steps? Paying that much money. But whatever.
Right. Making up why you don't have rent.
I never said I was. I never said I wasn't flawed.
Life is number 4. That's the space alien movie.
I don't know what
I didn't know that was out yet.
Yep, it's out.
Jen, I'm with you.
I
I'm
don't
just
know what
like,
any of
what?
this is.
He just told me about this in the last episode, and I'm like, Beauty and the Beast, you say?
Yeah.
I said that in the last episode.
I knew about that one, but yeah.
Don't lie, Jen.
Logan, they realized that the audience was fooled and they took it out of theaters. Yeah.
Chris
Still,
is just
this is
shaking
not.
his
This
head.
is no, because he's still trying to shame Logan. We already did that podcast. It's a new podcast.
I said this on that podcast that I can't tell you what the name is because I just saw the movie I Am Not Your Negro.
Yeah.
So I'm even more woke. So I can't tell you what the show title is
God.
that I was on. But I explained to people that when I say how much I hate Logan, it's not to ruin somebody like Chris's good time. You loved it. Okay, be dopey. Love it. I'm saying this to the people that realized it's bullshit and feel like they're insane.
What is it?
Exactly. It's Wolverine, but boring.
Oh, gross.
You know how you like Wolverine doing exciting things? Now he gets boring.
You don't know who Wolverine is?
I know who Wolverine is.
I don't
asshole.
know. You've been a straight nose the whole time, and I'm like, well, maybe I don't know.
By the way, it's called Medium Popcorn. N-word spoiling movies.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, see, no one can say it.
I can say it, but then I'm like, you guys are like, say it. I'm like, no.
I am not your Negro.
Yeah.
That's what that movie's about. White people trying to get black people to say their word. Just say it. If I hear it, it's like I said it. Can you breathe your smoke on me? I quit, but
If you say it and I mouth it, it counts.
that's right.
Same time.
Get Out is number 6 right now.
I saw
That's
that
a
one.
perfect time for me to see it now, right?
Everyone's loving it. Here's what you do. You want to know the state of the world. You see 13th. You see I Am Not Your Negro. And you see Get Out. And these are very important movies, socially and racially. Chips, number 7.
He really just.
I
This is
believe-
why he has this
I
platform.
believe everything he said, but I'm
Yeah.
still like,
Yes, that explains the room. Yes.
Chips is number 7. That's probably racially aware also. You know what? I didn't want to see it, and it was only because they put the tagline "Chip happens," and that's so offensive. But then I found out it's rated R, and that excited me.
But what can happen? Like, what are you looking forward to in a rated? Like more action?
I don't know.
Tits.
Unapologetic humor after I just complained about that Chappelle thing. I
Oh,
don't know.
when they can say shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see.
But I'm like, what are they doing that it's rated R?
Can we put bets that you're going to be disappointed?
No. I probably will. But me and Chris have the same fucking problem. We're like, how can I ruin 2 hours today?
What if it's just a bunch of dogs eating their own chips?
I would, if they find the powder at the end, I'd be like, good for you. They always had it. No one tells you.
Right?
The Shack seems like a religious movie. No, thank you. The Lego Batman movie. And the Belko Experiment.
You saw the Lego Batman movie?
Yeah, I did. I didn't like it like I loved the first Lego movie.
Okay.
It's not the first Lego movie. It's good on its own, but it's not that good. It's not as good as that.
It's Lego.
It's so funny.
No, the first Lego movie was amazing.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. Don't. Before
You know
you.
what?
I made this mistake. Do not make this mistake. Watch it first.
Jen thinks it's kids playing Lego telling jokes. How cute could these kids be for an hour and a half? No, it's not. The Legos move on their own.
It's just little kids doing a puppet show to us.
Right.
Putting Legos
Bunch
in.
of parents just walk around stepping on Legos. God damn it. The Lego movie.
You got that again! I swear these Legos are working together! Jenn Welch, the Twitter account is Jenn Welch Now. The website is Jenn Welch Comedy, JENNWELCH. Eventually, she's going to need to get laid. Find her on Tinder. She brings up her dad. Give it a couple months. Don't even try that day, all right? But you can check out @DeadDadTinder on Instagram and Tumblr.
Yay.
Chris Daniels, of course, he hosts a free weekly comedy show, Comedy at Beauty Bar. That's 8:30 p.m. every Sunday. The podcast, Book of Ye. What is Kanye hiding from right now? What paparazzi is he yelling at this second? Who's he getting mad at looking at his wife's big ass? You listen to the podcast and you get all the information. Am I right or am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's having the same response as you did before. All that is true, but...
Right. Chris, it's yay. Okay?
Always emphasize the yay, not ye.
And the Twitter account, by the way, congratulations, is Sir Chris Daniels.
Thank
He's a knight.
Knighted.
Yeah.
Also, you guys are a part of a New York City Podfest coming up, right? April 8th at 4:30 p.m. at the Bell House, which is an awesome space.
Yep, we're very excited. It's gonna be dope.
And I went to your show, Jen, at the Creek in the Cave.
Mm-hmm.
She has these comics doing a half an hour for fucking free at the Creek in the Cave. Get yourself some salsa. And I saw Michael Fox's half hour.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You get, oh my God.
It was great.
I love it.
Every first Thursday of the month.
There are too many free shows.
Yeah.
You guys have to go check them out.
And she's starving and she's letting people in for free.
Right?
I mean, it's nice.
Yeah.
If she's happy, take advantage, I guess. KeithAndtheGirl.com/VIP. It's every show we ever did since 2005, including spin-off shows. That includes, of course, Flavor of the Month, where one of your favorite Keith and the Girl guests comes in, and they put a podcast together, 4 episodes. And right now, of course, we have Joanna Shaw-Flam, and she's doing an excellent job. And Marsha Belsky did one there, Nick Turner, a whole group. So take a look at that.
If you're new, Joanna's first guest was our guest yesterday, Dan Hartley. And if you loved him yesterday, definitely check it out. We also have a new series, What's Up A, where we talk to Andrea Allen, our new associate producer. And I can't even with her because between Flavor of the Month and What's Up A, I want you guys to sign up. And I promise you, if you are not amused by just one of these, by both of them, you have to be amused by both of them. I will give you your money back because I cannot. You have to hear this. I'm not
amazed.
kidding.
And we want the word to get out like this dog poop powder. People need to know about it. And if you don't like it, again, we will give you your money back.
No questions.
And Jen will give you a bonus $5.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, it's true.
And then when you try to give it back, she's just going to give it to the ACLU, so don't even worry about it.
Jen, Chris, thank you very much.
Thank
you so much.
We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.